Welcome back to Tyson's Alchemy, and today I wanted to touch on a few mistakes that I made in my younger days. Now if you're watching this, you're probably a younger person, so obviously I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not Andrew Tristan Tay, I'm Tyson. Did it all on my own and I've got to where I am by making those mistakes. I just want to get that out there. Obviously you are going to make lots of mistakes, especially as a younger man, and it's part of the process. So maybe you've had a recent or maybe something's went wrong. Don't worry about it. It's all a big learning curve, and no one has all the answers, because I've got all the answers to my journey. Your journey might be a little bit different, but I want to touch on a couple of things that I f***ed up super early, so hopefully you don't have to. You don't need to make every single mistake that someone makes. So one of the first mistakes I made growing up was obviously focusing on women. Obviously I enjoyed going out with my friends and stuff like that, and pulling beautiful women out on a night out, and it came really easy to me, so I think I naturally enjoyed doing that because it was fun. But when I look back now, like, you know, what was it all for? What did I gain from it? Probably not a lot. I mean, I gained a lot of experience with women, and you know, it now comes easy to me. I don't stutter or anything when talking to women, so I suppose that's good. But in the grand scheme of things, if I could give my sons advice, it wouldn't be to focus on that. It was a big focus. Obviously I was focused on my football career as a young man, but my secondary focus was pulling 10 out of 10s. It became a bit of a culture. You know, you go to university, the geeks learn, and the giga-chads, they just go out and try and pull all the women. And if you don't know what pulling means, it's date and, you know, all that stuff. And again, it was probably just a solid waste of my time to do that. Now, I could have been chasing businesses or other types of businesses back then. I could have been focusing my time. I could have been dialing my dieting more, or maybe my gym routine. Whatever it is, all I know is that it was a distraction. And, you know, you make lots of friends along the way as you're growing up, but I can't remember any of those women and what they're doing. They haven't served me any use, and there's lots of them that I've left behind in my trail. But you know, what use was it? You know, that's the first thing. Obviously I know as a younger man you're gonna listen to that and you're gonna be like, well, Tyson, you know, I'm a young G, I want to get my end away and you know, test that out. I would say if you focus on leveling up as a man, those natural things happen anyway. I think actually that's part of what was happening. I was leveling up, I was playing football, I was becoming popular in my local area, and it just became really easy for me. And I know that's not the same for everyone. I'm not trying to say that that's going to happen for everyone, but I think because I had leveled up, you know, I left school, I was just a normal kid, and then I left school and started doing quite well, and all of a sudden it was just really easy to get in touch with women, and you know, if I wanted to make me Tysons, I could have done it there and then. So that was the first thing. You know, it's a distraction. Should you date beautiful women? Of course you should. It's great energy, but should you let it distract you from what you want to do? No. So don't be an incel and don't absolutely not interact with women, but at the same time, do not give them all your time. Do not give them more energy than it's going to take away from your projects and your mission and your purpose. So that's the first mistake. The second mistake, which I've spoke about in a previous video, was gambling. Now, I made a lot of money gambling, I've said that before, but that doesn't mean I would encourage any of my young boys to do that. Gambling for me is obviously a shortcut. It's very fun, it's very addictive, but it is a shortcut, and you don't learn anything from gambling. You learn that there's an opportunity to make quick gains, and ultimately that is very bad for the brain. It's very bad for you to understand that to build something successfully, it does take a lot of hard work. And once you get into that rut of getting a quick win, and you seem to... I remember thinking in my head, I don't need to do all the work. I remember seeing people going to work and thinking they were losers because I had this way of making money from gambling on football and stuff like that. And although I was winning and I was doing very well for a long time, ultimately it all comes crashing down. So I will very much be encouraging my young boys to grow up and not gamble, because the reason being is again, it's an addictive process. Even if I never had lost, even if I just kept on winning and I used my magical intuition Aikido to keep winning bets, I still wouldn't have learned the process. The best thing that ever happened to me was I lost absolutely everything. I had to start from ground zero. But you don't need to do that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to make this video. You don't need to do that. I don't recommend wiping out all your financial gains so you can start again from zero. I suggest you just take this advice and avoid giving too much time to women and avoid gambling. Now, the third mistake I made, and again, I think I have mentioned this, but I wanted to put it all in one video, was my protein intake. Now, I know a lot of you watching this are into the gym and you all want to keep fit and strong. My protein intake was so low when I look back. I mean, I just had no clue. I had no idea. And keep in mind, I had a physical education degree at the time, which shows you how much you learn when you're actually at university. The amount of protein you need to eat to actually gain muscle and put on size is just a lot more than you think it is. You know, I'm 6'2", and as a 6'2", 18-year-old at the time growing up, and I was playing football every day, and I was training every day, the amount of calories and protein you need is just so much more than you'll ever know. Now, obviously, we've got online calculators now. You can work this out. It's a simple Google search, and you can do that. And I suggest you do. And it's quite hard to eat as much as you need to become the Hercules that you want to become. It is actually quite difficult to eat that much. You need a big appetite. Now, some people have it. I never had it. You know, I'd be full after the meal, and I'd have to force stuff down me. And now I know how to do it. Now I know how to break up my meals. But that was a huge mistake I made. I was skinny and lean, and I was fast as a footballer. But I was doing a lot of weights and a lot of hard work. But I was just eating way under what I should have been eating. And I do wonder if I had the knowledge now, and I did eat what I was supposed to eat then, I'd probably be fucking scary right now. I'd be an absolute animal. I think I'm actually still catching up with all the work that I put in now. So there's 3 things for you to think about. You should definitely consider trying to eat double your body weight in protein, and it's quite difficult to do, especially if you don't have the money to buy all that protein. But just do what you can. You know, tins of tuna are cheap. Find your cheap sources of protein and try and take it from there. But so number 1, try and avoid chasing women. The women will come to you. I'm not saying don't date them. Don't be a little incel and stay at home. Don't be jerking off to yourself because it saves you time and energy. Don't be doing that. Obviously, you need to learn to speak to women. It's a part of life. You want to learn a bit of game. I focused too heavily on that. You know, I used to enjoy going to clubs. I didn't enjoy going out and drinking and chatting to the boys. I just loved going out, getting a 10 out of 10, and that was me done. Come on, we're going back. That's all fun and games, but imagine if I was to clock up all the hours I wasted doing that. It didn't amount to anything. It's just in the moment pleasure. So, and I can say that now as a slightly older man, and I get that you're in a different position, and you're probably watching this thinking, well, I'd like that. I'd like a 10 out of 10. I get it, but just don't dedicate all your time to it. Yeah, maybe set yourself little goals, and then when you've achieved those goals, right, I can go on a night out, or I can go with some friends to meet some girls or whatever, and take it from there. But just don't make it your ultimate goal. The second thing was gambling. Obviously, don't be gambling. It just serves you the worst shortcut that your mind can do. It teaches your mind that you don't need to put in the work, and ultimately at some point that balloon will deflate. So don't gamble. And thirdly was just eat more protein, eat more food. If you are smashing the gym, which I hope you are, and you are exercising every day, you need to eat a lot, especially the younger G. More calories, more protein. Eat to grow. And I heard this message when I was younger, but I just didn't take it literally. I just thought maybe it was an extra Mars bar here and there, you know, extra milkshake, extra protein shake. No. Extra steaks, extra mashed potato, extra, like, get it all in you. Double your meals so you're not playing catch up in your 30s when you're like me. So I hope that's helpful. I've got loads more mistakes I've made, and I'll make another video about them. But just really take note of those 3 things and try and apply them in your life now if you haven't already. And I'll speak to you soon. Remember, self-hypnosis is the key. Get back to work, boys.